The year is 1914. Picture a world on the brink of transformation. A world where empires still sprawled across continents, where the rumblings of discontent simmered beneath a veneer of Belle Epoque elegance. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne in Sarajevo, sent shockwaves across Europe. This act of violence, a seemingly isolated incident, ignited a powder keg of alliances and ambitions, plunging the world into the abyss of World War I. The Great War, as it was initially known, was a conflict unlike any other, a clash of empires, ideologies and technologies that would forever alter the course of human history. From the verdant fields of France to the desolate plains of Eastern Europe, a generation of young men fueled by patriotism and a sense of duty marched off to war unaware of the horrors that awaited them. This is not just a story of battles and treaties. It is a story of the human spirit, of resilience and sacrifice amidst unimaginable suffering. It is a tapestry woven from the threads of countless individual experiences. Soldiers in the trenches, nurses on the front lines, families torn apart by conflict, and nations grappling with the profound costs of war. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie on that fateful day in June 1914 was a catalyst, a spark that ignited the tinderbox of European tensions. Austria-Hungary, outraged by the assassination, issued an ultimatum to Serbia, demanding satisfaction and retribution. Serbia, backed by Russia, sought to negotiate, but Austria-Hungary, emboldened by German support, declared war on July 28, 1914. A complex web of alliances, years in the making, snapped into action, drawing nation after nation into the conflict. Germany, fearing a two-front war, enacted the Schlieffen Plan, a daring military strategy that called for a swift knockout blow against France through neutral Belgium. The violation of Belgian neutrality outraged Great Britain, which declared war on Germany on August 4, 1914. Within a matter of weeks, Europe was engulfed in a conflagration that would consume the continent and beyond for the next 4 long years. Life in the trenches was a stark departure from the romantic notions of war that had lured many young men to enlist. Imagine a labyrinth of muddy ditches infested with rats and lice, stretching for hundreds of miles across the battlefields of Europe. The air, heavy with the stench of cordite and decay, was punctuated by the deafening roar of artillery fire and the staccato bursts of machine guns. For soldiers on both sides of the conflict, life in the trenches was a grueling test of endurance, a daily struggle against boredom, fear, and the ever-present threat of death. Days blurred into weeks, weeks into months, as soldiers endured the relentless shelling, the gnawing hunger, and the bone-chilling cold of the trenches. Amidst the horrors of war, moments of camaraderie, humor, and shared humanity offered fleeting glimpses of hope and solace. Soldiers formed unbreakable bonds with their comrades, finding solace in shared cigarettes, stories from home, and the knowledge that they were fighting for something larger than themselves. Thousands of miles from the front lines, families anxiously awaited news of their loved ones. Letters, often censored and delayed, offered a lifeline between the trenches and the home front, carrying whispers of love, longing, and loss. In these poignant letters, soldiers shared their experiences, their fears, and their hopes for the future, offering a glimpse into the human cost of war. Wives and mothers, transformed by the war effort, took on new roles in factories, fields, and hospitals, keeping the home fires burning while their husbands, sons, and brothers fought for their country. The war touched every aspect of life, leaving an indelible mark on the social, economic, and political landscape of the world. The letters, often written in haste and under duress, captured the raw emotions of war, the fear, the boredom, the longing for home, and the profound sense of loss as comrades fell in battle. They serve as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of love and connection, even in the darkest of times. Section 5. Technological advancements, the horrors of modern warfare. World War I witnessed an unprecedented escalation in the lethality of warfare as new technologies developed in the preceding decades were unleashed on the battlefields of Europe. Machine guns, capable of firing hundreds of rounds per minute, mowed down waves of attacking soldiers, transforming battlefields into killing fields. Artillery, more powerful and accurate than ever before, rained down shells from afar, obliterating trenches and turning the landscape into a churned-up wasteland. Poison gas, a new and terrifying weapon, added to the horrors of war, inflicting agonizing deaths and leaving a psychological scar on those who survived its insidious embrace. Tanks, a revolutionary new weapon, lumbered across the battlefields, their massive tracks crushing obstacles and their cannons blasting holes in enemy lines. Airplanes, initially used for reconnaissance, soon evolved into weapons of war, dropping bombs and engaging in dogfights above the trenches. Section 6. Beyond the trenches, women on the home front. While the men were away fighting, women on the home front played a pivotal role in the war effort. With millions of men away, women stepped into jobs traditionally held by men, working in factories, shipyards and offices. They became the backbone of the wartime economy, producing munitions, clothing and other essential supplies for the troops on the front lines. Women also served as nurses, ambulance drivers and volunteers, providing comfort and care to the wounded and dying. They endured long hours, dangerous conditions, and the emotional toll of witnessing the horrors of war firsthand. The war challenged traditional gender roles, empowering women and paving the way for greater social and political rights in the years to come. The contributions of women during World War I were essential to the war effort and had a lasting impact on the role of women in society. Section 7. The Armistice, a world redefined. After 4 long years of devastating conflict, the guns finally fell silent on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. The armistice, signed in a railway carriage in the forest of Compiègne, marked the end of the fighting, but the road to peace would be long and arduous. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended the war, but it also sowed the seeds of future conflict. Germany, blamed for the war, was forced to accept harsh reparations and territorial concessions, fueling resentment and instability in the years to come. The world that emerged from World War I was vastly different from the one that had existed just a few short years earlier. Empires crumbled, new nations were born, and the political map of Europe was redrawn. The war had a profound impact on the social, economic and political landscape of the world, leaving an indelible mark on the 20th century. Section 8. Scars of War, the Enduring Legacy. World War I left an indelible mark on the world, both physically and psychologically. Millions lay dead, countless others bore the physical and emotional scars of war, and the political and social landscape of Europe was irrevocably altered. The war shattered empires, redrew boundaries, and ushered in an era of uncertainty and instability. The Treaty of Versailles, intended to prevent future conflicts, instead created new tensions and resentments that would contribute to the outbreak of World War II just 2 decades later. The war also had a profound impact on art, literature, and culture, giving rise to a generation of writers and artists who sought to make sense of the horrors they had witnessed. The legacy of World War I is a complex and multifaceted one, a reminder of the devastating costs of war and the importance of diplomacy, understanding, and peace. It is a story that continues to resonate today, urging us to learn from the mistakes of the past and to strive for a more peaceful and just world. Section 9. Untold Stories, Unwavering Spirit. World War I was a global conflict, yet many of its stories remain untold, lost to the passage of time or overshadowed by the grand narratives of history. The experiences of soldiers from Africa, Asia, and the Caribbean who fought bravely for their colonial powers are often overlooked in traditional accounts of the war. Similarly, the contributions of women, people of color, and other marginalized groups are often relegated to the margins of history. By unearthing these untold stories, we gain a richer, more nuanced understanding of the war and its impact on people from all walks of life. Despite the horrors they witnessed, the men and women who lived through World War I demonstrated remarkable resilience, courage, and compassion. Their stories, both the well-known and the forgotten, serve as a testament to the enduring human spirit and the importance of remembering the sacrifices of those who came before us.